All right. Back at it with another episode of SLR, showing love regardless, with my co-star, Big J. How you doing?
J.Alfred.
Can't call it. I love it. We out here trying to shed light on some of the relevant topics that we came across in the last couple of days, and I just wanted to chop it up with you and get your perspective on things. I love it. So, one of the things.
What we talking about? I mean, how was your week though?
Good, man. You know, I'm trying to get back at it. You know, still prepping, trying to make light of the week. It's still early in the week, but we get into it.
Yeah, you know, I'm trying to stay stress free. You know, my baby hurt right now, Carmela. You know, she's in the shop right now. You know, I wanted to stop on the dude. I'm trying to get to the plantation on time. She want to stop on me at the light. I was sick. Like the whole shifter not working, and I'm like, what the?
Listen, that's why them YNs be riding around here in them challenges and charges. So downside of the job.
My baby's still kicking, you know, she's a little sick right now. She'll be back on the road soon or later.
Funny you said that, man. I drive a Plaid, so I recently just got a whole bunch of middle fingers at the intersection. So I felt weird.
Yeah, how does it feel driving the Tesla right now? When you're out of the left hates you guys right now. Whatever Elon, they hate whatever.
It definitely does.
No politics, but you know.
It definitely does feel like the elephant in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like it's almost like you're walking in there and you just farted. And you know how when you don't want people to know it's you, so you kind of like talk but walk. You know, you kind of like put your head down, but you still moving because you want to.
I think that's just wild for me for a side to be upset about something and they're just targeting everybody that has a Tesla. That doesn't make sense to me. Like,
it's to me what I definitely.
I don't think it's. I think it's just a small selective of the crazies, and just making like everybody else, like everybody on that side is doing it.
Yeah. I definitely do agree that there's definitely a particular group of people who feel some type of way.
Because my parents go on that side. I don't see my parents burning up a Tesla. I don't think they care about me.
Yeah.
They just disagree to disagree. It is what it is.
Yeah, listen, they do.
But that's the era we live in. You can't disagree without hating each other, I guess.
Yeah, I talked to someone else who obviously drives a Tesla as well, and asked them how they felt about it. And obviously their position stood on what was taking place. They said what's taking place right now with Tesla is essentially the recoil or the aftermath of us making bad decisions for so many years now that we have tried to rebuild our country. So
it's kind of funny though, because if you think about it, electric cars is really like a liberal thing. And then now it's like a switch now, like a 180. Now the right's gonna be driving Tesla just as a fuck you to the left, I guess. And the left is like trading in their Teslas for other electric cars or back to driving gas cars or whatever.
Yeah, it's always been that constant fight, and
No, I just hate the era. I feel like we live in a groupthink era where you have to be with the group.
Yeah.
Like nobody wants to be an individual. Well, people try to be individuals, but they're scared of upsetting the group.
Yeah, it's like the whole saying, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I hope we get back to where people can be individuals and not have to think as a group. But I think it's always like that. But I think social media just makes it even worse now.
Well, I think one of the things we kind of learned that we're stronger in numbers, right?
Yeah.
So we come collectively, being stronger in numbers can be helpful and also can be detrimental to somebody else,
Yeah.
And that when we see that every day with influencers and stuff like that who come online, who make comments about companies, and essentially it affects them instantly. Because obviously the internet moves faster than light, right? So that's how people say it. There's so much motion on the net, but it's interesting to see how people are adjusting to that. But it definitely gives us a lot more to.
I mean, we even started. We still on the intro. I mean, we gotta. Let's get to the topics we want to talk about.
All right, let's get to it.
Going off.
So that was one of the things we talked about was people adjusting to the scrutiny of driving a Tesla, and moving forward. staying on that line as far as technology, is using AI cheating?
I don't know. I've been embracing AI. AI makes job kind of easier.
Yeah.
Like if I'm taking pictures, like I do photography. Like I take pictures. Like I have a whole AI program that helps me retouch photos. I mean, I can do it one by one, but it's a lot easier knowing that. I have this program that studies the way I edit, and then it could just replicate the way I edit all the pictures at once. I don't know, I feel like AI is either we're gonna embrace it or not. Because I feel like there's always something new that comes, and we're just gonna be like, it's bad, it's this, it's that, it's doing this, we've been stepping away from being humans, and we're getting more into mixing. I mean, it could be a bad thing, like the robot type stuff and all that, artificial intelligence, but I feel like either we're gonna get left behind or move with the future, and I guess I'm down with moving with the future. Like
I love it. One of the things that I do see, older gentlemen like myself is we tend to be stuck in our ways. And one of the beautiful things about AI is learning and showing the evolution of technology and some of the capabilities. You sent me some pictures the other day. I had a crazy spin on it. It was like, had a little bit of Simpson vibes, and then you gave me a little Marvel vibe, and it was crazy. It was crazy. Like you said, you don't need a graphic designer in a way like you
still do it now.
You do, but I'm saying like the amount of money you would pay someone to do something like that 5 years ago versus now, it's like almost obsolete. It's like you don't really need to spend your money on stuff because they make it almost like as easy as possible to do some of this stuff now, right? Very impressive, though, and you can't, like, this goes back to a statement I made a couple weeks ago about craftsmanship. Does the same amount of craftsmanship go into designing some of these programs or giving the capabilities to some of this hardware that runs along with the software? So it always makes you think, like, that is equivalent to the craftsmanship as what we would consider, 10 years ago, a whole bunch of bells and whistles and moving parts. But craftsmanship has evolved. And you take someone like you, for example, who you've seen the evolution as far as different programs and different pieces of hardware.
I mean, there's AI in my camera. Like, the camera, there's like AI. Like, I can program it to, like, only take pictures of this, only take pictures of that. Like, there's all AI in there.
Think about that.
It's like, it makes it a lot easier. I know it's like, some people want to be stuck in the caveman ways. Like, no, this is the way it's supposed to be done.
So you're embracing your thing?
I mean, I'm embracing it. I mean, I'm not.
So when you...
I feel like there's nothing you can do with it. It's moving with you or without you.
So let me ask you a question. When you think AI is going to be the most helpful for, or most utilized for, and when you think AI is going to be the most detrimental to?
I feel like we're already not social. I think it's going to make us even more not social. So now we're going to have, like, I feel like, remember that movie, whatever, like Her or whatever, where they had a whole relationship with the artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
I think like that, more stuff like that's going to happen more. Because we're already, like, not social. Like, they have those stats where they're saying, dude, like people that are 25 or whatever those ages that they don't know how to talk to women, they never spoke to women, or I think we're already going. I think that's one of the downfalls of the AI coming out. I feel like we're gonna be less social with each other. We're just gonna be more into artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
I feel like that's the downfall, but I feel like it's making life easier.
Yeah. So tell me, how do you think it would make life easier? There's so many different variables. But like, what do you think would be the most?
I mean, like what? Sending emails? Like I could just go to chat and tell them what I want them to write in the email, how I want it written, and it just does it for me.
Can't beat it. So it saves the time. It gives you, it saves time. It gives you a perspective on how you would do it based off a cumulative amount of body of work that it put together. It writes almost like in your vernacular per se, but it also gives people more time to do other things because technically you've done all this before. Someone should have been taking notes so that you can do it and make it easier moving forward, right? But let's move on. We talked about earlier about some of this new tech is coming out. But let's move on to a little bit of sports. First and foremost, we're talking about basketball here, right? Not saying there's other sports that we can essentially elaborate on.
My pictures got digs. I mean, we my boy Ming got some others.
There are some trades happening all season, some trades happening during the season. We're seeing sports change every day, even down to the front office. More importantly, how the benefit of owning a team is being broken down now in the sense of the tax breaks and such. But the real question here is, the game is changing every day. We want to know who is going to be the next big star that not only controls the narrative, but more importantly conducts himself like someone we want to see 10 years from now. Because there's a lot of great athletes that kind of are great on the court, but everything else that represents them is kind of iffy.
I can't stand your man LeBron, but I feel like he's the last one. I don't see who can do it. Like, who can be the face and be all that, and because there's like a lot of people that don't, the ones that they're trying to give it to, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like Anthony Edwards, John Morant fucked it up with the guns and all that already.
What?
Zion can't stay on the court.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know who. It's like crazy. Every avenue, we don't know who's the next face. You don't know who the next face of hip hop is. We're still talking about artists that came out 15, 20 years ago that are still like the top. Still talking about Kanye. Kanye came out like 13, 14. Like.
Well, I think one of the things we get into is no one wants to bear that weight because everyone's very like, listen. Everyone's like, listen.
I think this is different now because now there's a microscope on everything.
Exactly. Everyone wants to be.
Before these dudes came out where it wasn't that microscope or that microscope didn't get to the point it is now. Like, you can't do shit now.
I think it's being observed more now from a different perspective because they realize how much of a big impact it was. Like, everybody in the world's listening to this. Well, why don't we just lock in, listen to this, and see what everyone's so moved by, right? And the fact that some of it makes sense, and then you get carnies.
It's like remember when you were in school, when you go take a shit, and you would try to hide your shoes so nobody could see who it is, because they're gonna tell you, yo, they're taking the shit in the bathroom. It's like you're the man in that bathroom taking the shit now, and everybody knows your sneakers. So everybody that walks in knows everything you're doing. Like, it's basically like, damn, that didn't make sense, did it?
I want to hear where you're going with it. I'm not gonna.
You know how you remember those days when you be in school, like you would go to the bathroom and take the shit.
Yeah.
You try to hide these things because you don't want nobody to know that you're taking the shit.
Yeah, but what does that taking that shit?
I feel like now there's no way of hiding anything you do. Like everybody knows it's you now. Like,
yeah.
It's like whatever you do, this happens, they know. It's like you can't do anything. There's no privacy.
So essentially, you're saying that people should do it because with such a surplus or an abundance of rappers or artists that no one can really pinpoint where some of this like energy was coming from. So, but now that it's so focused and so hyper focused, now it's like, let me see what you're talking about. You was talking that flash shit. Now let me see what you're talking about, right?
I don't know. I just feel like it's like I
know. I'm agreeing with you because you know why? You're right. You get people who are breaking down the shit that's being heard on the airways. You got people who are questioning artists and their validation of their fucking jewelry.
I mean, that's what now is more.
It's more, like you said, it's being more focused now. It's more hyper focused. Y'all talking about that jewelry shit. Do y'all really got jewelry, or is this fake, or is this really like bust down? Right? Y'all talking about living this luxury lifestyle. Were y'all really taking those trips, or you just capping, right? So there's a lot of hyper focus on it now. So you really can't hide your shoes while sitting on the stall, right? So now there's a two-sided window with nowhere to hide.
It's like you're in the stall, somebody's in the stall with you.
Someone's in the stall with you.
Yeah.
Let me see, talk that shit, literally, no pun intended. But, but let's stay on that same topic and move on to talking about MVP candidates.
I mean, everybody's saying SGA, but I think Joke he's the fattest dude in the league, and he's
Wow.
They talk about these guys are the best era, the most athletic, and the best player in the league is a fat boy.
He's not a fat boy.
Compared to everybody else, he's a fat boy.
He is
Shout out to the fat boy.
He's a big dude. He's big bone. He's not fat.
He's a fat boy.
I'm not trying to listen. Pause. I'm not trying to.
Shout out to the fat boys. He's a fat boy.
Listen. What he lacks thereof.
That's why I be laughing. We can bring that up. They talk about this era, that era, like the thing LeBron said about the 70s. I feel like you can't. You can say all that, but people say, it's disrespectful. We disrespect this era. We're not saying this era. You could travel, you could walk, you could carry. Like back then, they have to. So imagine if you take those players from back then and put them down where there's no rule basically. Of course, they're gonna do better now than I feel like the ones right now will not do good in the past.
So
and they would play like they were in the past if they played in the past.
So
like that's going a little off topic, bro.
No. So I'm gonna kind of like parlay one into the other. SGA or Djokovic, both great players. SGA is the new version of an
I feel like SGA does one thing: score. I mean, I'll give you a couple assists in there.
He's a shifty.
Joke is doing everything.
He's a shifty dude who shoots and scores.
The most athletic guy in the league, doing everything.
Yeah, but Djokovic is he's smart.
He's skilled.
He's skilled.
He's a very skilled, like most Europeans.
He's a very
He got
skilled.
all the fundamentals now.
Yes, and he knows he has great IQ. His IQ.
When you see that pass, he was like, right to Aaron Gordon, and you see Lopez was like, where's the ball going?
Like, you don't make those kind of passes like by accident.
Yeah.
That takes you need
That's
to
what
know.
Brian used to be on.
You need to know where everybody's on the court, where they're moving before they move, kind of creating a flow of like where people are moving. And yes, LeBron was great at that. And that's why Bron and Luka make a good pair as far as moving the ball up and down the court, because they're always moving the ball forward. They're not staying right there and bunkering down. But I honestly think if I had to choose between the two, because this is a two-part question, SGA or Joe, I love it. Like, it's crazy that I want Joe to win it again, because all of a sudden, out of the blue,
He's been balling.
He's balling, but now he's balling.
He's going from half court.
He was throwing half court.
It's like another day. He's sad he made it. It looked like he's sad he made the shot.
I don't care. Dude made the shot. He Euro stepped under the rim on the opposite side of the court and threw it in.
It didn't hit.
It hit nothing. It went in. Literally, if Steph takes that shot, he's got to fling it from his hip. This dude threw it like as if there was a garbage pail on the other side of this room. There's no bigger than 10 by 11, because that's what we're doing. You know, it's crazy.
I feel like SJ's gonna get it for sympathy. A lot of the reporters,
yes, I feel like
vote the same way Embiid got it. Embiid was not supposed to get it. I think it was Jokic again.
Embiid almost.
It's like, yo, we're sick of giving it to Jokic. Like, yo, let's give it to a damn, like, we got to give it to America.
Embiid almost scored 80 in one game. You got to give it. That's pretty, like, I don't care. That's like seeing a Cybertruck roll around in the river. It's still impressive.
I bet Jokic should have won it like the last 5 years. He's out of his mind.
He is a very talented individual, and he definitely is a different breed of player. I saw some kid the other day, in passing as far as like on IG, and this kid mimicked Djokovic's move, where Djokovic knows his distance between him and the defender, and he pulled up and he did that awkward, unorthodox shot and made it just like, and I was like, wow, look at the influence that dude has. And meanwhile, people are thinking this guy is so nonchalant about winning.
But let's go back to that. Do you really think current players would dominate in the past? Where the refs are really calling the rules, there's hand checking and there's all that. You think there's still...
No, because it's two different games. They're accustomed to playing two different ways.
Yeah.
But...
And I feel like, I agree with Giannis. I feel like if you take these players and put them at a time they're going to have to play, they would be playing like those players at that time.
You would become a cousin. You tell your game too that...
You're not going to go into the past and start playing like you play today. Exactly. It's a whole different game.
Exactly. It just wouldn't make sense because, think about it. Giannis with a little bit of adjustment would basically be in another Dr. J.
Right. I kind of hate those conversations because I feel like
you can't compare.
The current players are not playing the way they play today without the past players'
influence.
Laying the brickwork and everything.
Exactly. Definitely. Also, all good stuff. We want to get into a little more. But now that we're still there, let's talk about a little more grittier stuff. One of these articles that I came across in the last couple of weeks was Gene Hackman and his wife. Wife recently, they both passed, unfortunately due to natural disease, causes. But the scenario of how their will was set up was interesting. Gene Hackman basically forfeited all his money over to his wife, and if his wife
died, I think she was
died,
all the money was going to some
charity.
Yeah.
But she passed first, and then he passed after. And then the wild shit was, we're at a month and a half after their passing, and because of the dynamics of their relationship with their family, and the fact that no one got any of their money, basically people have completely written them off. Now, how do you feel about that?
If I'm the kids, I'm fine. There's something I can do to get the bread, right? Isn't there something you can do?
Legally speaking, I'm going to say that what their last dying wish, or whatever they wrote in their will, is what they have to abide by, right?
But wasn't in his will for him to give it to his wife, but his wife died first.
That is true. That is true. That just changed a little bit. So maybe there is some room there for his kids to take on that.
How do you feel about that? That whole not leaving the money off to your kids thing?
So we all have a purpose, right? We all drive. We all have a driving focus. Then there's the ones who have kids for the first time. They were like, yeah, that's my little juju. That's my little baby. That's my everything. That's the person. That's the driving force, the purpose that gives me life every day, right? And then we have another kid, right? And then we have another kid.
I feel like some parents are delusional. Like they think that their kids, they don't want their kids to live the life they live, but they want their kids to work hard too, or work for what they earn, like the parent. But I feel like it's never gonna be that way. Like I feel like the kid, you're gonna give your kid something, and he's not gonna want to work hard or work as hard as you did. Like no matter what you do, like
nothing is funny. So I'm gonna.
You can take Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey said he's not gonna leave for his kids. His kids, he worked hard for it. He wants his kids to work hard. I'm like, it's never gonna be that. I feel like that's a wishful thinking. But if you give your kid everything, he's not gonna work as hard for the way you did to get whatever you attained. I feel like it's like delusional thinking. Like people think like they can make their kids work hard, or I feel like it's like a small instance where that happens. But for them, like you can take it to the NBA for the most part. Most of the dudes that are great players, like and their kids come in the league, their kids are never.
Oh Lord, we knew that was coming.
I'm not even talking about Bron.
I thought you were gonna bring Bronny on. Come on,
I'm just saying, look at it. Kobe's guy was in the league. He wasn't no star player. He was a role player. Then Kobe was a star. Same thing with Curry. But if you take like Patrick Ewing. He was a star. His kid came in the league, he barely played the season.
Yeah.
We don't even know where his son is at anymore.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, like, I feel like it's just hard to, like, look at Shaq. Even though he had health issues, but Shaq's kids would never be Shaq.
Exactly.
I feel like it's just.
So why are you bringing this? Are you leaning toward?
No, because it
seems like
we're bringing up. Cause, no, I'm not. I'm not even talking about. We don't talk about. But I'm just saying because how we're talking about how leaving stuff off and you want your kids to work as hard as you did. I feel like when you're great, it's hard for your kid to outshine that.
It is. It is a hard one because you gotta constantly like you're proving a point. You're like, this is. Like, I gotta be better than my dad, and Jordan's kids was like that. Fucking, who else is another example of that we saw, and we were like, oh man.
Well, Magic's kids, no, we stop.
So, it's like, what about the Curry boys?
I mean, one's good. I mean, they're both good, but one's a star and one's just a role player.
And then you got the ball boys.
Yeah, I mean, but their dad was never, their dad would play professional football for like what, you know, in a practice squad or something like that? And none of them play football, they all play basketball.
So, I think one of the things I kind of wanted to double back on was about leaving stuff for my kids, right? We talked about, you have a kid, then you have another kid, but then you have another kid, but your initial part of having the first kid has given you so much drive. You're like, oh, I had a kid, that was my purpose, my sole purpose in life was to get up to make my kid's life better. Then I had a second kid. And initially with your wife, and you had your kid, your second kid, your third kid, whatever the case may be. And now you're remembering what your purpose was, or your purpose is. And you don't get up to work every day so that your kid's life is hard, right? I get up because I want to make that little motherfucker, have a valid life, right?
Yeah. My parents were working like 3-4 jobs, so.
Yeah, but remember, there's a thing that happens, it's called life, right? And life can basically be punched down and put in and conformed into a box of so many different things. Life is work, life is, baby mothers, life is, mothers, life is fathers, life is grandfathers, life is injuries, life is, stuff that's out of your control. Life is disgruntled fathers, disgruntled baby mothers. These are things that play into how you take on this purpose, right? So at the end of the day, when you have money that you have to relay to someone or you want to leave something for your kids, it's because why? You want them to live a better life than you did, right?
Yeah.
So what's the whole ruckus with all these kids trying to act like they don't want the money that their parents worked so hard for and they're not so appreciative of it? And nothing bothers me more than
I feel like some kids want it. There's some that don't, but most of them want it. I don't think there's kids out there like, nah, I don't want my inheritance.
I saw this thing the other day, and I was
like rare.
I saw this thing the other day. Let me keep it a buck with you, nepo babies. Stop the cap. I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger's son the other day, Patrick Schwarzenegger. He's in White Lotus.
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
That's his name.
Is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. And he goes, I don't want to be known as Arnold Schwarzenegger's kid. Motherfucker, you wouldn't be in this movie without your father.
It's like Obama's daughter doesn't want to use Obama's last name.
Denzel Washington's kid, John David. I don't want to be known as John David as fucking Denzel Washington's kid.
Yo, use that shit. Like, what's wrong with that shit? Yo, God gave y'all something, man. They put you.
I don't want to be known as the nepo baby. I'm out here doing 40, 50 auditions a week to get turned down every one, and you complaining about that shit that your father worked for? Come on, let's fix your face.
But they care what people they hear people saying, oh, you only got this job.
So let's change places because I'm putting more work into you, and you just basically fell in the line.
I feel like, why would you even want to choose the same career path if you don't want that? You could have been something else. You take Denzel. So you playing football, you could have stick to playing football.
And you didn't
have to use your fucking cheat code. You know, like, no, I don't want to use it. Why are you in that career field for then? Like,
You just randomly ended up on the Rams because you were so
Man,
good. You were so
bro.
good, John. I'm not discrediting you. You're a phenomenal actor. You've contributed to the industry so much, but you are an Apple baby. And
embrace that
Embrace it, man. I'm not discrediting you. I'm not trying to disrespect you or Patrick Schwarzenegger. Listen, there are hard-working actors that are doing 40, 50 auditions that aren't complaining as much as the people that don't have to do auditions because their dad was, a power player in the game. So embrace it. You know what I'm saying?
Enjoy. I mean, use the cards you were dealt with. Everybody's dealt with different cards in life. Use the cards you dealt with. If you're freaking some Denzel Washington's son, use that shit.
Denzel!
Like, why not use it?
So quick question here. Let's stay on our line with is nepotism and father figures and mothers and so forth and so on. We talked about this. This is something Anthony Edwards is dealing with right now.
He paid off the 18 years right here. I don't want no parts.
The question was, is getting an abortion the same as being a deadbeat father? So getting an abortion from the mother is equivalent.
When the father wants to keep
When the father wants a kid, is getting an abortion equivalent to being a deadbeat father? That's such a great fucking question. Because it shows the level of control.
It's a double standard.
It is a double standard, but we also talk about who the fuck is in control of the situation.
The girl's gonna say it's my body. What if the man goes, it's my wallet? It's my money. I don't want to spend my money on a kid I don't want.
But it just shows you who's always controlling that kind of situation. Yeah. But that was a great fucking question, because you have to think about it, right? Anthony Edwards is paid 18 years in advance because he don't want to deal with the women who
he already told you, I don't want this kid, don't have this kid.
But she chose to have it, and then she tried to make it seem like it was more him than her. And again, we don't know this situation, so we can't speak on their behalf.
And then they're gonna say, why have unprotected sex? A baby could come in. They both did it. It's not one-sided. He and her decided to have unprotected sex. There's a baby that could come out of it, and a baby came out of it.
Yeah.
But if the dude said he doesn't want no parts, don't try to go on social media. Don't try to wild up the group thing people to make him seem like he's a terrible person. He already told you, I want no parts. I don't want you to have this baby. I have the bread. If you want to get rid of this baby, I have the bread.
Yeah.
And first of all, we can talk about this already, but he's 38, he's 23, it's like already.
It's the wildest thing.
It's a wild thing. So I feel like if the dude tells you he wants no parts of the kid's life, why do you think that he's just gonna change his mind? He already told you, I want no parts.
Because his pussy is good. No?
I mean,
the pussy ain't never that good.
I guess you're right. 18 years?
18 years are good. Oh, man. Listen, all I'm saying to you, I'm not trying to knock your boy Anthony Edwards, but there's always two sides of the story, and then there's the truth, right? But more importantly, like, let's be realistic. I saw this TikTok the other day. This kid was like, listen, I've been with my mom for 18 years, and I always had this ill...
Well, I think did you see that thing when they're talking about ask your dad?
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He said, I know my mom all my life, and then I had the opportunity to sit down and build with my dad, and it wasn't that I picked a side, but I listened to his side of a story, and I saw that it wasn't just him, and I saw that it wasn't just...
It takes two to tango.
It takes two to tango, and sometimes being the fact that the mother figure has more control, sometimes that's manipulated for, the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I feel like in most of those instances, like, I don't want to say like all, but for most humans, most women, they're gonna manipulate the kids to not like the father. I feel like the same way father, I'm not gonna say humans, like men and women, it's like the relationship didn't work, so now they're just trying, like, the one that wants the relationship to keep working, they're gonna mess up the relationship with the other parent because that relationship didn't work.
And then it basically carries over into the kid, and then now the kid's dealing with this trauma that he doesn't know how he acquired it. Yeah. But the reality of it is like...
I didn't go through that. Shout out to my mom and dad,
Listen, no cap, my mom I definitely went through some of that in some capacity. I love my mom. I love my dad. But more importantly, I deal with that, and it's just like one of the things we need to realize. It's a tough one because people don't realize it has so much effect on not only the immediate parties but everybody else in years to come. So it just doesn't get
I feel like they have these little units out here with daddy issues and mommy issues.
Exactly. So that little spitefulness that you have towards someone for 5 minutes turns to a lifetime of trauma that could be avoided by just by a simple conversation or a conversation.
We're imperfect. We can't do it. We always gotta be right. We gotta be wrong.
Yeah. But that's a part of growing, having uncomfortable situations.
We live in an era where people want
talking through them, because that's what
people want to tell you they're traumatized, but they won't get the help with their trauma. They just tell you they're traumatized.
Listen, listen, all jokes aside.
We all fucked up out here, right? Get some therapy. I'm not getting no therapy, but if you need some therapy, get some fucking therapy.
Therapy's all right. Therapy is it can come from anybody. You talking to someone, don't
talk to yourself.
Don't put this preconceived notion on therapy. Talking to someone helps, right? I'm not knocking you. Listen, I'm here for you. Talk to me if you need me. You heard? But
therapist Marlon.
So. All good in that regards. But as far as talking about like more support, I kind of want to relate into this. I know this is something that we've been, kind of relapsing on, but Kanye West recently had an interview.
I referred to it on the last episode, but that episode the interview came out.
Yeah.
I already told you, man, Ye's just talking. He just want attention. Look at me. I have a fucking Klan hat on. Listen to me talk. I want attention. I'm gonna diss Kendrick because Kendrick's the hottest right now. I want attention. Give me attention. Yo, this is the same Ye since we was kids. He's just gonna keep doing the same shit. Now people are not paying that much money. So he might come out naked next. He might have a live porn.
Look at me.
Look at me, please. Look. Hey, I'm over here. Look at me talk. They're trying to kill me.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's not take it to that extent of him trying to underline himself.
But he's saying that.
You probably shouldn't hint at that. But one of the things that we kind of
I always love Ye, but come on, man. Now it's getting annoying.
Okay.
He's like the little baby that wants attention.
I did say this to you the other day that yes, it is that has to be stressful to him, to the people around him, because it's stressful to me being a supporter and being someone who's seen the progression of his career, the progression of hip hop. He obviously is dealing with something internally, right? And when you're so loyal and you have so much love for this culture of hip hop, right? It's made you this mogul, right? You get so frustrated because it's not giving you that same love in return, right?
Man, he had God complex. That's what it is, bro. He wants everybody to kiss his ass. And once you're not kissing his ass, you're against him.
But you're all right, 100%. But it's beyond the God complex, right? You're talking. This man is out here talking about how he didn't want to have kids with his wife, right?
This is a good year right here.
This is a good year. The College Dropout was one of the greatest. The last registration. But College Dropout was one of 30 days.
Right there next to you over there.
Banger, right here. Listen, but to this day, we gotta really think about it though, yo. Like, Ye may need some help.
He's still doing the whoopee cushions? He's still with the whoopies?
So Ye may need some help, right? He may be going through some shit, right? But that doesn't discredit him.
I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
He doesn't want attention. That's what he wants. That's his drug. He needs it. He wants it now. He's gonna say whatever he wants. And what's with Japan and China? What's over there?
It's probably because listen. Remember, he got a lot.
That's where they probably kiss his ass when he loves it.
No, I don't think it's a kiss in your ass. They give him his privacy, but they also support and protect him, right? Because that's what from my understanding, based off, again, speculating, he was raised in Japanese culture in some capacity.
Yeah, I think his dad was, his mom was teaching in China.
Yeah, something like that. So
I forgot about that.
He's familiar with how they give him a sense of comfort in somewhere to be mentally at home. So I think that's a place of refuge for him, and he doesn't have to be worried about it. But for me, I think in his mind, he's got to be past the point of talking to someone. And if he does, I feel like some of this stuff is kind of reopened and readdressed when he starts getting back into the hip hop culture, because it's one of the most antagonizing industries or genres of music to be a part of, but it's also the least supportive, right? And I feel like at one point in time, it was a very supportive culture or genre of music, right?
I mean, Ye, but you gotta say, Ye did all the things that they were against. He became a Republican, he was supporting this, he was supporting that.
Yeah, he became an ally.
They were like,
yeah.
And you're like, no, we're not fucking with you. And we were talking about groupthink, our culture is a lot of groupthink. You have to think a certain way.
Yeah.
To be in that culture. If you don't, that means you're not.
I think one of his biggest arguments is, are we being the group outside of me, are they being influenced collectively amongst themselves, or are they being influenced by a bigger machine? So that's where he gets his conflict as far as supporting and finding it or reaching out.
I feel like he was part of. He's stepping away from that machine, but he was in that machine at the end of the day. It's just now it's not. It stopped catering to him, and that's when he started going against it. I told you, I don't think it's genuine that he went against you. He went against you because he stopped kissing his ass.
Yeah.
And now he's just doing anything to just piss him off.
Yeah. I don't think it's a piss off thing. I think for Ye, like you said, you made this comment, unbrandable, unmarketable, right? And it's not that he wants to be marketed.
I mean, that's what he told Act. That he was doing this because he doesn't want to be used anymore by.
Yes, and I can understand that. I can understand not wanting to be used. The industry uses you in so many ways before you even think about it, right? Using you for your time, your effort. Now it's in your face because you're going on these movie roles and they have the right to take your face just for one entry, And they can use that on AI fucking background actors and shit like that. You didn't need to be there anymore. You go on set one time, they have the right to take your fucking face and use it as a background actor. So now they don't even have to pay the background actors. So there's gonna be even more actors running around. But
like I said, I blame all these people. 2020, nobody wants to work anymore. So now they found a new working class, a new workforce, AI.
It was interesting because we talked about this, and it's like there were people out there arguing, fighting on their shit. Like, listen, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that.
They want to stay home.
I want to stay home.
Now y'all mad. These corporations like, all right,
these corporations they're like, you know what? We'll find a way. And you know what? They found a way.
Yeah, they found a way. Now everybody's mad.
Now everyone mad that we about to get universal basic income. Where the fuck you got to blame, right? Come on, get your priorities straight. Listen, my priorities weren't always straight in my lane, but I know that it was coming. It was inevitable. And me being a techie fan, all I'm saying here is don't fight the beast, right?
The beast is gonna move on with you or without you.
So, all right. So, moving right ahead, I want to talk about some of these albums that we saw in the last week. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough.
Big Willie.
It was enough to make some noise. One of the candidates was Will Smith.
Will Smith's back.
Willie.
Will Smith ain't playing, bro. He back.
I don't know what happened to Will on this album. We were talking about it, and
I ain't get past track 4. I'm like, I'm not listening to Will Smith album.
But it was weird though because when it was weird though, Will wasn't cursing. His grandmother would not be happy. Will's cursing on the album. That is 100% right, but you could tell.
Based on a true story.
But you could tell if someone else's. You could tell. It seemed like more of a. It seemed like, I don't know who was the writer on this album, but he took.
A lot of it sounded Big Sean, probably?
It sounded like Big Sean. It sounded like a little bit of Meek Mill.
I mean, Big Sean's on the album.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so that explains he has the same cadence. It's a very similar cadence to him and Meek. I don't know, but Will's been around the game for a while, so obviously he has some writing credit, but to conform to the times, he probably took on someone to try to like use as a reference, and whoever was helping him write, definitely he took their cadence on. But
it kind of sounded like a gospel album too, kind of. I didn't even listen to the whole thing. I got past, I probably got to like track 7, and I was like, all right, I'm good. I started listening to Dirk, but we'll go to Dirk after.
I must tell you though, after I listened to Will Smith's album, I felt like a different person. I was ready to do some good things in my life.
Hallelujah, huh?
No, I didn't say hallelujah. I just said I was just ready to do some good things. Big Willie he done went gangsta on us at the end of his career. That slap was enough for that nigga to make him.
No, that slap didn't happen. Like, people don't fuck.
That slap.
It happened to Chris Rock. People don't really rock with Chris Rock like that.
It's just, he slapped the old generation, he moved into the new one, you know. Mm-hmm. Shout out to my boy Willie. Big Willie! But
I can't even give a rating on that album because I didn't really listen to it, so I don't know what we give that album.
Oh,
who? The Will Smith based on the true story. We give it a 5?
So I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm not gonna give it anything because I didn't listen to it in its entirety. And as you as an artist, I'm only gonna give it, the medial 5, right? But again, I never really listened to any of your albums, right? But I know.
But I mean, that was the soundtrack. Yeah.
But and then there's Miami Jug, but like getting jiggy with it. We know singles, but I never listened to Summer.
Yeah, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme track.
Yeah, so there was a lot of, you obviously gave us a lot to deal with, this Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and all that. But, yeah, man, listen, shout out to Will. I know we next up we had was,
Dirk.
Big Dirk.
I mean, I feel like
it's smart.
It's a typical Dirk album, him on auto-tune, him singing and talking, singing, rapping. But I give it a good 6. But I'm not a Dirk fan like that, but Dirk has some shit on here. I like the shit with Future. I mean, I even like the shit with Lil Baby.
I do see how there are a lot of those features that weren't labeled.
But yeah, free Dirk, yo.
Free Dirk, yo.
I mean, yeah. Hopefully if he didn't do it for him.
Listen. Dirk is a talented individual. I definitely wish I would have heard more of no auto Dirk on this album. But she wasn't like that because
that's what his fan base loved him.
But we wouldn't have heard that because that wouldn't have helped his case, right? Now we just got a whole bunch of singing Dirk. But Dirk's always been a talent. He's kind of like one of the OGs, the young OGs. But he's another one who's dealing with the demon of living that life and stepping out of that world and kind of finding a new path. Not even a new path, but a way of making that transition out. I think that's one of the biggest things for artists who come out of those predicaments is learning to make that transition. It's a very egotistical thing or humbling thing to do.
So you give a Dirk album?
I'm gonna give it a 6.5. 6.5. I'm not maybe a 6. 6.
I'll give it like a 6.
But
I'll listen to it, see if I'll change my mind.
But we got hit with the Drake video thing that
No Kia.
Hey girl.
I'm sick of people dragging this battle on for as long. I don't care if it's similar to Kendrick's videos, and I'm a Kendrick fan, but I'm sick of this shit. Like, you motherfuckers are annoying. Like, the beef is over. Like, I don't know how y'all made something I've been waiting for 10, 30 years. I mean, like, 10 years. Y'all made this shit so fucking annoying. The Drake fans and the new Kendrick fans. Like, I mean, being a Kendrick fan, people don't like Kendrick, so you're used to hearing criticism. You're used to defending Kendrick. Yeah. But now, these new Kendrick fans got me defending Drake sometimes. Like, I'm like, please shut the fuck up. And I love Kendrick. I still love Kendrick. But these new fans are annoying. Drake fans always been annoying. But now I feel like the Kendrick fans are acting like Drake fans.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been saying this. I just want the beef is over. The battle ended. Yeah, they're gonna have a little back and forth, but I'm sick of hearing it.
I'm just I second that.
It's very tiring.
But listen, no cap though. How the fuck did Kendrick get on every one of my playlists? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. How did King Dot get on every one of my playlists?
I mean, they got on the Drake treatment.
Kendrick be on playlists with artists that he's never made a song with. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, they did it for Drake. Now it's his turn. It is what it is. You know the industry picks and choose.
This kid's a diehard K-Dot fan. I really don't rock with K-Dot or Drake.
I mean, I've been a fan since I was like, what, 20 years old? Like, so I've been like the dude.
Yeah. No, listen, I don't question.
I mean, I feel like he's great. I can't wait for the next album because I just want something that's not attached to beef.
Yes.
Where I can hear something. I want to hear the alien voice. I want the regular shit again. I don't want.
Exactly. I'm tired of this. I want to hear something. I want to hear Kendrick as an artist outside of his Drake shit. It's so annoying.
Yeah, because now they just act like everything, any successful shit that he does is.
But it's crazy because it's
crazy. It's almost about to be a year since this started.
We basically, as artists, as consumers, we basically got tricked out of the enjoyment of music. Because remember, I remember in the beginning of the year we were like nothing was happening.
And you got thirsty for beef.
It was crazy because who just dropped? Travis Scott dropped, and the music came out. We were like, oh, not the news hot.
Travis Scott, when did Travis Scott drop?
So no, nothing dropped.
You mean Barty?
No. So we're talking about the year that technically, which was
Oh yeah, Travis did drop last year.
Travis dropped last year.
And I feel like Travis been down since Astro World.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that when he came out, we were like, that's the hottest thing moving. There was no beef. Everyone was really calm and collective. Everyone was nice to each other in the industry. There was no beef going on. And it was like the sales were down, right? And all of a sudden,
I feel like that beef been.
Someone pulled out the frying pan and started cooking the beef.
I feel like it was supposed to have been happening, but it happened when it happened.
Nah, listen, it was definitely pushed.
Because I'm talking about they've been dissing each other for years. Ever since that Control verse, then that BET cypher, there was always some little back and forth. You know, I feel like Drake was acting like a little girl over that whole shit. I feel like that's why people can't say, that's why I feel like most Drake fans are not hip hop fans. Because Drake goes against all the rules of fucking hip hop, and then people be cheering this shit on. Like,
so what do we learn as consumers of hip hop music? We learn that we can be tricked out of our listening catalog.
Not really.
Just off of beef.
Nah, I feel like that last time that shit happened to me, I was a kid. But then again, I can't even say I was a Ja Rule fan like that. That's the last person I could say where beef, I was like, I'm not fucking with Ja Rule. But I was like 13, 12 years old.
But Ja was nice.
Yeah, but I was 13, 12. When he had beef with Jada, I was still fucking with Jada. I was like, I'm done listening to Jada. But I was a Judith fan, but I still was listening to Jada. It didn't make me stop listening to Jada.
My boy, you got tricked out of your spot, man.
Nah, I was never a Ja Rule fan like that.
You told me Ja Rule wasn't nice?
You know, the R&B singer, yeah, he was cool.
You told me Ja album wasn't nice and one way he dropped the Benny joint?
I ain't listen to that bullshit.
Yo, Fifth, listen. I ain't say the nigga album was the best, but you telling me before Ja came out.
I remember,
before he came out of his mouth recklessly, the album was definitely, the one was like, I want it.
I mean, he had all the hits. Yeah, he was doing the right thing. I feel like he let 50 trick him out of what he does best. He wanted to do, I want to clap back.
Yo, listen, talking about tricking out of your spot. We gonna close the show out on this, but
wait, what do you think about that Drake video? We just skimmed through that.
We talked about it. Listen.
I like the video.
I thought the video honestly was a play, or he was trolling the nigga K-Dot. He had the same tempo of a different song that Kendrick had.
I don't like that. People try to connect to not like us video, but
honestly,
I feel like if you want to see it, you're gonna see it. It's just how it is. If you want to see a connection, you see it. I'm trying not to see a connection. I just liked the video. The video was cool.
The video was cool.
Yeah, it was
but me personally, it was.
I like the visuals. I like all that.
Yeah.
I mean, there was certain shit that looked like Kendrick, but I'm not going through that wormhole no more. I'm done. I don't want to hear.
Yeah, we don't want the beef anymore.
Like, it's crazy that I've seen
somebody else,
and now I can't stand it.
No more K-Dot and Drake, please, because listen, y'all tricked us out of this whole thing this whole year, man. This whole year. The video, I'm gonna give it a strong 7 because.
Nah, I'm gonna give it an 8. I fuck with it.
I'm gonna give it a strong 7.
I like the song too. It's a catchy song.
Baby girl.
Yeah, it's a catchy song.
Oh, but listen, let's not forget this. I want to make sure you guys realize to stay on your shit and keep your head on your swivel. Because you know why? You run into people like Adrian Broder who trick you out of your mother hard-earned money. How you gonna trick somebody out of 6.5 on a wild broke dice? Like, I can say a couple $100, a couple $1,000. But 6.5.
I think you trust somebody because he got bread. You gonna trust him.
Oh, bro. If we sit in the crib together, having a drink, we start playing pool, right? I start busting your ass. You feel like your ego's been stroked, so you like running back. We'll play, double or nothing. I beat you again. Now you feel some type of way. I used to beat you back to back. Now someone else is coming to the room. Your ego's really at its all-time low now because I got other people in the room and you got to prove your point. So you go, let's run it back again. Triple or nothing. At what point in time do you stop playing your man?
I think it's because it's who it is. You wouldn't think he'll do shit like that. But that's one thing you got. Don't trust humans, people. Humans, most of us ain't shit or have ain't shit in us. So you gotta put everybody in the same boat. All right, just like what Malcolm X said, you gotta trust people by percentages. All right, you can't trust everybody. We gotta trust them by like 50%, 60%, 25%. I told you, most people I fuck with, I start at 25%. You go up or you go down.
It's a working grade.
Yeah, it's working.
It's like you don't start with an A plus and
you start at F.
You start with an F.
Then you work up when you go down.
See, and listen. That's how you build
That's how you work with
solid.
humans. You understand we're all fucked up. It is what it is.
Yo, he's on to something. I'm telling you, he's on to something.
Yeah.
So listen, moving forward, make sure y'all trust people
by percentages.
Yes. They start out with F's and they work their way up to what they want to be perceived as. So till next time, show love regardless.
Show love regardless. You heard?
You heard?